Hola, it's Angela here. Today I'm here for a quick interview with Ramaja.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So I think I want to start off because some people in the area won't know you. I, of course, met you last year. What brought you to this area of the Lecrian Valley and Alpujarra?
Well, I've been living in Ibiza for 4 years, and I guess this is going to sound a little bit out there, but I received a very strong message from my guides to come to the Alpujarras.
Okay.
I'd never been here. I didn't know anyone here, had no connection.
Right.
And so pretty bravely, I put all my stuff in my little Jeep and drove over here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Quite a shock there. So you came over to this area,
Yeah.
and you're in Lanneron. What did you got drawn over? But what's kind of special about this area? What do you like about this area?
I think one thing for me, obviously the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely really earthy. So also perhaps I had had enough of the crazy eclectic energy and all the water in Ibiza.
Right.
I don't just mean that it's an island. I just mean that kind of energy.
Yeah.
And maybe I needed to be somewhere that was very grounded and somewhere that was quiet. It felt like I was coming here to rest and expand.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah. And maybe I needed somewhere quiet with a big, expansive landscape. And also, even though it's been quite challenging, maybe I needed to come somewhere where I didn't have a big social network, where I had no social network
To start.
to work and ground myself. Yeah.
Right. So you mentioned just there about that you were drawn here. You said it might sound a little bit crazy.
Yes.
So I know your profession in the past used to be in the film industry.
Yes.
But now you do something completely different. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I was in fashion, and then I was in costume design for film and TV for years.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, my stress went up and up and up with my work.
Yeah.
And I began to get into holistic things.
Right.
Like healing, like going on retreats.
Yep.
And it became a hobby, and then it became something that I started to sort of dabble in and do courses in. And then around 10 years ago, I changed. So
Right.
I am a healer,
Mm-hmm.
and a medicine woman and a witch.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So I think for a lot of people, when we think about witches, I know when I've read books and I've looked at things before, you kind of go back to the kind of the old Darley type things and people
Yeah.
with hats on. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do as part of the witch healer type of world? What kind of work do you do?
I mean, I would say most of my witchcraft work is quite personal, but then sometimes I teach that to other women.
Right.
And my healing work, I mean, people come to me with a wide range of issues, but I would say in recent years, it's more people come to me because they want to be in their full power.
Right.
And it's often, I would say 90% of my clients are women over 40.
Right.
And maybe they've been through the marriage, having children,
Yep.
and now they're like, right, who am I?
Yeah.
And they need some support with that. The witchcraft stuff, I totally understand the mainstream narrative, but really witches are quite far removed from that idea.
Yeah.
And being a witch is about being connected to the earth,
Right.
being connected to the seasons, being connected to nature, and making many, many offerings to, we call her Pachamama, but
Right.
other people call her Mother Earth or Gaia.
Okay.
And she's like she's everything to us. So making lots of offerings to her. I do the odd spell, but
Right.
not very often. So very occasionally, or somebody might ask me for a spell.
Right.
And I will teach them a spell to do to bring in money, or a spell to protect their energy, something like that.
Right.
But as witches, we never, and this is the thing that's in the mainstream narrative, we never do anything too harmful
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
to manipulate.
Right.
Because that is like a code. That's black magic.
Okay.
So if you do anything like that, it comes back on you tenfold.
Right.
Some witches believe it's threefold, some believe it's 10.
Okay.
So we would never do anything,
Right. Okay. So you're saying from there, it's kind of, to me, it sounds a little bit like paganist with the kind of the seasonality, the earth, the grounding.
Yeah. Like, I don't consider myself a pagan or a druid or anything, but in tune with nature.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've said there that some people come to you to ask for help or assistance with something. So I gather, do you do things like retreats in this area?
So I do retreats in the UK and in Spain. This year, I might have one in Ibiza, but I've got 2 in the Alpujarras and 3 in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with these retreats, you mentioned before, primarily it's women.
Yeah, I mean it's mixed. So
Okay.
there's generally there's 2 formats that I do for the retreats. One is with plant medicine,
Right.
and that's mixed groups.
Okay.
And I would say that is for releasing and clearing and healing. And then the other type of retreats that I do is women only, and that's queen energy.
All right.
And that's very much about being in your power. And instead of looking for something outside, like a plant medicine, like a technique, it's all about going inside.
Finding that strength from
finding
within.
that strength within you. And that's what I support women in doing.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I guess people come from other countries to do this, but is there anything that you do for, you're based here in the Alpujarras.
Yes.
Is there things that you do for the locals that might want to kind of dip in there and know a little bit more about it?
Yes. So I do, once a month, I do a sound healing, like a tea ceremony.
Right.
And I do that at a really special price for local people.
Okay.
Yeah, so that, if you want, you can come and spend €1,000 and go on a retreat and have my undivided attention and all the tools and everything I can offer you. Or you can come and pay €10 and I will sing for, an hour and a half and teach you how to make a spell. Yeah.
So I've actually been to one of these sound baths last month, and I was absolutely amazed. I really shouldn't have driven home because I was very relaxed afterwards. I'm very chilled. Your voice is absolutely amazing. Are you going to move forwards with doing things like that? Are you releasing something so people can look online and listen to things like this?
It's strange because I always thought of myself as a healer. And then it just began years ago in London. I started to do moon ceremonies and I started to sing.
Right.
And I was so nervous at first that I would have to get a best friend to come and sit with me and she would sing with me.
Right.
And I would shake and it was really hard.
Yeah.
And then as time went on and I started to work with more and more plants, I sang more and more and more. And I do believe, I know this sounds probably strange, but there's a healing in my voice. That's all I know. So it's not like I'm doing it, to be a pop star or something.
Yes, yeah.
But there's something, and some of the sounds and frequencies that come out of me, like for example, if I'm doing a healing with someone, a certain sound or code will come out, and I will know that that's the code for grief.
Right. Yes, I understand.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I sing in English, sometimes I sing in Spanish, sometimes I sing in languages from the jungle, but sometimes I sing in sounds that I'm not planning at all. They just come out. They just come out.
Okay, brilliant. So we've discussed the kind of the background about what you've done and that you are doing these retreats, etc. You're doing things online as well that people can join. Can you just explain how people could do that?
Yes, so sometimes I do workshops online.
Right.
And they're, again, normally a low price, around £10 to £15.
Okay.
A lot of my clients are in the UK.
Right.
And then I also do some courses online as well, which is about the Queen energy.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes people do see me for healings online. I have some people who only like to see me in person.
Yeah.
And then I have some people who are happy for me to do a healing with them online.
So that's quite interesting. I know a little bit about Reiki because my wife actually is a Reiki master. So I get that distance thing. But is it a difficult thing to explain that? Because when you're with someone and you've got that experience in an environment, you can feel it. But from a distance, does it work the same?
It does work the same.
Right.
And I've actually found, I've got some clients in the UK who will wait for me to go to the UK to book a healing with me.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've said to them, do you want to try it? Because I'm often travelling or whatever.
Yeah.
I said, do you want to try it? And they were just like, I can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, set up the space where you're going to lay and put a chair next to the bed for me.
Right.
And then I get them to lay down and I do a call with them, and I'm literally like, right, you can hear me coming into the room, you can hear my jewellery,
Yeah.
you can smell my perfume, right, I'm sitting on the chair now, and normally that helps them.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
But sometimes it helps if they've had some healings with me in person
Because
first.
they know what, they know what to expect.
And then the other thing that I do, which to be honest, it hasn't really started here, but I feel like it will once it starts to get warmer. And this is the thing that I used to do a lot in Ibiza with tourists, is a private sound healing.
Right, so if someone's been out exploring, out in nature, and then get back and they want to have a private healing, they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, and some people want a healing, but to be honest, a lot of the clients that I had in Ibiza were couples.
Yeah.
And they would want to do something nice, something for sunset, or maybe they were celebrating a birthday or they were moving in together, and we would do a little really gentle ceremony and then I would sing for them. And
fantastic.
It's a very nice experience, yeah.
I might book one of those.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really grateful for your time today. You do have a website, Instagram and Facebook channel.
Yes.
So what I'll do, I'll get that information from you. We'll put it on this video so that people can get directly in touch with you and reach out to you for healing.
Okay.
Really grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.